Hi there, I'm Dr. Andrea Shanowski from Freedom Chiropractic and Holistic Health and our YouTube channel, Health and Horsepower. I am here today because I want to talk to you a little bit more about how to bring the romance back this Valentine season. So, a lot of times when it comes to romance, we may have some issues where romance gets soft, shall we say, or isn't quite up to getting romantic, if you know what I mean. So many men a lot of times will struggle with libido issues and hormone imbalances that can lead to everything from ED, whether that's all the time or intermittently, but sometimes they may also have issues just getting their hormones in the right place to help support their body. So for today, what I wanted to talk about are 4 different things that you can do to help your man to be a little bit more romantic for you this holiday season, or just any season. So one of the first things that I see with a lot of men is that they are not getting enough protein. So protein is what your body uses to actually build your hormones. So your body has to break down protein for amino acids to build hormones, but also supply cholesterol to help with hormone production as well. So a lot of times what I will see is if we're not getting enough protein in our body, or you're not digesting it well, which we'll talk about that, number 2. So a lot of times if we're not getting enough protein, your body doesn't have the resources it needs to maintain proper hormone balance or make and replace new ones if they are being broken down or they're being utilized or they're degrading a lot quicker. So one of the things that I find is when it comes to protein, your body needs to have at least 0.5 gram per body weight pound. So like say for example that you weigh 150 pounds, your goal is going to be getting 75 grams of protein every day. Normally, what I recommend is making sure that you are getting 5 handfuls. So the size of your palm is a handful. So a handful of protein is going to be about 15 to 20 grams per handful will get you there. So normally what I recommend is getting a handful of protein at breakfast, another one at mid-morning, another one at lunch, another one in the afternoon, and then another one at dinner time. And sometimes more than that, but for the most part, we want to aim for at least 0.5 gram per pound of body weight. If we are trying to build muscle in the gym, or if we're trying to lose weight, you want to actually increase that up to 0.75 gram per 100 or for every pound of body weight. So again, you want to take your body weight, cut it in half. That's a minimum number of grams of protein you need every day. If you're trying to build muscle, you're going to multiply by 0.75, so that's 3/4 of your body weight to make sure you know you're getting enough protein grams to help you build muscle so that you are actually losing weight and helping to tone up and make sure that you're looking good. So really, number 1 important thing, protein, making sure you're getting enough. Number 2 is digestion, because as we age, and also when we're under stress, your body actually shuts down and slows down digestive processes. So that means that your stomach is not producing as strong of a stomach acid or less of a stomach acid or weaker stomach acid that is not able to break down the food that you're eating well. Now, that is not only going to cause issues where protein isn't broken down properly. So even if you're getting plenty, your stomach may not be breaking that down properly. But also in your stomach in that acidic environment is where you're going to be absorbing iron and also calcium. So when we have iron deficiencies, that can lead to anemia, oxygen carrying capabilities that aren't working well, and that can cause issues not only with energy and fatigue, but oxygenation issues. So circulation can be a problem, which we know is a factor when it comes to not being up to the task, shall we say. And then the other thing was calcium. So calcium is also a nutrient that helps with muscle tension. So for muscles to be up to the task, they need to have enough contracted ability to keep blood flow in a specific area. So if you have a calcium deficiency, if you have an iron deficiency, that's going to cause issues with oxygen carrying, that's going to cause issues with fatigue, and calcium is also going to cause issues where we don't necessarily have the blood flow staying where it needs to stay romantic for a little bit longer of a time period. So very important to make sure that you're getting enough protein, but also digesting it well. For a lot of people, I find that number one, lowering stress levels can be really impactful, but also a digestive enzyme like enzymes HCl, which is something we carry in our office, works amazingly well to make sure you are getting digestive enzyme with your meals so that you're digesting your food and getting all the nutrition you can from it as much as possible. Number 3 is blood flow. So I know I talked a little bit about that blood flow when it comes to anemia, because if we are anemic and we don't have enough iron or we don't have enough hemoglobin in our body, that can cause issues where we are not getting good circulation of oxygen, and certain extremities won't work as well as they should if they were getting proper oxygen flow and also that circulation of those areas that can stay where it needs to. Another thing to think about is your heart health has a huge part to play in this. So your heart is responsible for pumping very strongly blood so that it can actually go and travel those long distances. It also supplies and relies upon our vascular system, because your vascular system are the channels, blood vessels, veins, all of that moves blood around your body. If those vessels are tighter because of magnesium deficiency or high stress levels or high cortisol levels, you're going to have very higher blood pressure, and circulation, again, won't work as well. So very important to make sure that we are getting proper blood flow. We want to make sure we're participating in cardioprotective things, so keeping our inflammation levels down, making sure that we are getting our heart rate up to exercise our heart so it's working well, and it's not just all of a sudden you have to shovel snow or go out to dig a hole in the backyard for your garden or whatnot, and all of a sudden your heart is overworked and you have a heart attack. Very important to make sure that we are keeping that blood flow up. So keep your heart healthy. Make sure you are getting the right nutrition with calcium and iron like we talked about with digestion, but also making sure you're getting enough magnesium. Bare minimum, I usually recommend 400 milligrams of magnesium every single day, not magnesium oxide. That's like worthless trash. Magnesium citrate is a really fast absorbing way to get magnesium. However, if you tend to have some digestive issues, sometimes it goes right through you. So magnesium glycinate is another great option. That is a slower absorbing form of magnesium that works great for a lot of people, especially with sensitive tummies. There are many other forms out there. There's magnesium malate, there's chelated forms. There's so many different types out there. I carry a couple different products in my office specifically. I carry Triple Mag, which is a B6 and boron added, so it actually helps with bone density as well as having a couple different highly absorbable forms of magnesium. And I also carry Seeking Health Magnesium Plus, which is a magnesium malate that absorbs really well as a chelated form, and also some B vitamins. So really great options. I also know that magnesium is very high levels in pumpkin seeds. So you can either just partake in pumpkin seeds on a regular basis. They also have them de-shelled at the Hy-Vee produce section, and sometimes you can find them de-shelled even at Aldi's as well. Some other great sources are mangoes. You can also get some great sources from spinach. Peanut butter does have a little bit in there as well, but typically pumpkin, mangoes, pumpkin seeds, kind of those are the great sources that I usually recommend. But in order to get 400 milligrams a day, you're probably going to need more than just food sources, unless you're like crazy about pumpkin seeds or something. And then the number 4 thing I wanted to share about today is getting your hormones checked. So if your man or you yourself are having issues with hormone balance issues, sometimes when it comes to hormones, we can have estrogen that actually interferes with our testosterone level. Sometimes our testosterone levels are off. You might be producing it, but it's bound and not out there free, able to do work and actually act upon your tissues. And then sometimes we can also have issues where your body is not producing the DHT, turning it into testosterone, and then making it free so it can out there and do work. So a lot of times what I recommend is if you are having issues, you've already focused on protein levels, you've already focused on improving digestion, you're making sure your heart is healthy and everything else checks out fine, it might be time to do some functional lab testing, not just looking at testosterone, but sometimes even looking at estrogen and even looking at DHT, even looking at cortisol and your adrenal hormones, because your adrenal hormones also can shut down and interfere with sexual hormone production. So very important to make sure that we are getting answers and going through the list of what we can start with. So like I said, start with number 1, getting enough protein. You want to aim for at least half your body weight in grams, but if you're trying to build muscle or you're trying to lose weight, you might want to aim for like 3/4 of a gram. Number 2, making sure you are digesting your food well. As we age, like we talked about, stomach acid isn't really the best, so we can have nutritional deficiencies where we're not breaking down protein, we're not absorbing calcium, we're not absorbing magnesium or iron, and that can lead to circulation issues, that can lead to fatigue, that can lead to muscle imbalances, That'll affect number 3, blood flow. So we want to make sure we have good heart health, making sure that we have enough magnesium, make sure circulation is working well, and we don't have stress or nutritional deficiencies that are impacting your heart rhythm rate and function of your vascular supply. And then number 4, get your hormones checked. So if you need help with these things, you know that we are a great resource. If you are here in Illinois, we do visits in our office here in Central Illinois at Freedom Chiropractic and Holistic Health. We also offer online consultations and phone consultations as well if you are in Illinois. So if you need help, give our office a call or check out our website, freedompeoria.org. And hopefully this information helped you today. Have a great day.